superstars would launch his major league career. Although initiated by an injury, this is Austin Meadows' chance to show that he was worth the #1 pick the Pirates used on him. He doesn't have to be the next Lou Gehrig replacing Wally Pipp. Just becoming another Andrew McCutchen or Starling Marte would do just fine.
He struck him out! Clear the deck! Cannonball coming!
We're coming your way from PNC Park in Pittsburgh, where tonight the Pirates host the San Diego Padres in Game 2 of the 4-game series. The first place Pittsburgh Pirates welcoming a former first-round pick, Austin Meadows, into the big league clubhouse. The 23-year-old greeting his new teammates, Gregory Polanco and others, and then making his way onto the field, getting ready to take some batting practice. Beforehand, however, as he greets his family, friends and family alike, about 24 on hand to see Austin Meadows make his major league debut. Greg Brown, John Wayner, and Dan Potash with you. John filling in for Steve Blass, who receives a Heinz History Center Award tonight. And so, John, you get to watch Austin Meadows make his major league debut, and you can speak to this. There's nothing like it.
Nothing like coming to the big leagues for the first time, and I'm sure he's been dying to get here. We thought maybe he'd arrive last year, had some injuries, so finally here tonight. Austin Meadows was hitting pretty well. As you can see, a 9th overall pick. It's just an 18-year-old. He's only 23 years old now. 292 career minor league average, 35 home runs. But it's all about going out there, get the nerves out of the way, get the jitters out of the way, get that first play in center field, and hopefully the first hit first time up.
Starling Marte on the disabled list, hopefully for just 10 days, as the Pirates get ready to take on the San Diego Padres on Star Wars night. We're ready to rock. Friday Night Rocks. The Bucks and the Padres are next. Friday Night Rocks on AT&T Sportsnet is presented by Iron City Beer. Pittsburgh is built with iron. And yeah, Gabby Barrett is, of course, in the finals, American Idol this coming weekend, and Austin Meadows is finally here. And his family on hand. Some from McKeesport, extended family from the Pittsburgh area, and they are ready to go, probably just as nervous as Austin himself. And Travis Jankowski, Central Pennsylvania native, takes ball one from Ivan Nova. And a ground single to left. Perfectly placed for Jankowski. He's provided a real shot in the arm for these Padres since he was called up at the end of April, getting on base at a strong rate. We check out the San Diego Padres starting lineup. Corey Spangenberg coming to the plate. Eric Hosmer is at first base. Franchi Cordero starts in left. Rafi Lopez, the catcher, with Franmil Reyes in right. Freddie Galvis, the switch hitter, a .455 career average against Nova. And then it's Carlos Asuaje and Tyson Ross. Not necessarily household names as they continue their rebuild in San Diego. And a ground ball, double play ball, 4-6-3. Thank you very much. 2 outs.
What you like to see from Ivan Nova. Ground balls, 2 ground balls, one finds a hole, the other a routine double play ball. Is Ivan's ERA coming in just over 5. He's had a rough go of it his last 3 times out. 290 opponents are hitting off of him, 8 home runs and 50 in a third innings.
Nova's last start, after the game, he talked about how he felt, and really felt like he maybe pitched better than the numbers would show. But there were some hard hit outs against Nova on Sunday against the Giants. He ended up giving up 4 runs in 5 2/3. That was the game where Rich Rodriguez came in and gave up the home run to Nick Hundley. Hosmer, who hit second in the lineup last night and drove in 3 runs in the first year of his big long-term contract, tied him up nicely. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Eric Hosmer. Nova has pitched well here at PNC Park since joining the Bucks. Very well, 2.82 ERA and 20 career starts in his home yard. And it is windy, to say the least. Really not necessarily used to this particular direction in this ballpark.
Almost
either.
Never. You figure wintertime, we usually get the winds from the north. Spring and summer, it comes from the west. Blowing straight in from the east.
3-2. Hosmer lifts it toward the east and in left. That'll do it. Good work, Ivan Nova, to start things off. Of this 4-game series, and we check out the RAV4 Pirates starting lineup. Adam Frazier looks to get things going against Tyson Ross. Gregory Polanco follows. Corey Dickerson hits third, and in 24 career games, not bad for Corey Dickerson, so he's not unfamiliar with that spot of the order. Josh Bell hits cleanup, then it's Colin Moran in the 5-hole. Elias Diaz catches. Austin Meadows bats 7th. Jordy Mercer, Ivan Nova against Tyson Ross.
Tyson Ross, not a very hard thrower, only averages about 91 miles per hour. He's battled some injuries, but Nate starts this year a 3.40 ERA and 47 2/3 innings, 53 strikeouts. And he throws an awful lot of sliders. In fact, just as many sliders as fastballs and an occasional cutter. He only threw his last time out. He only threw 1/3 of his pitches were fastballs.
Well, he starts off with a 4-pitch walk. On the defense, Travis Jankowski in center field. Franchi Cordero in left. Franmil Reyes is the right fielder. Corey Spangenberg, Freddie Galvis on the left side of the infield. Carlos Asuaje, Eric Hosmer on the right side. And Rafi Lopez is behind the plate. Franchi Cordero in left field. They have had a couple of issues out in left field in yesterday's game. Corey Dickerson mainly hit a ball that should have been caught. It was misplayed, went for an RBI double. Gregory Polanco now takes ball 1. Trying to get a scouting report on Ross. We've seen him in the past, but it's been 3 years since the Pirates last saw Tyson Ross, this 32-year-old from Berkeley, California, at 6'6", 240 pounds, big frame. You wonder if you could run on him. And talking to the Padres people, they really weren't certain. We didn't get the best scouting report of all time. We talked to one individual in particular,
and he was very tight-lipped.
We didn't want to give it away, any secrets. So Padres people, let me tell you something. You have one loyal soldier in Mark Grant, your color analyst. He would tell us nothing. Old foul. 1-2 the count on Gregory Polanco. And now has a new center field mate for the time being. His buddy Starling Marte, placed on the disabled list with the right oblique strain, retroactive to 2 days ago. And there is Austin Meadows trying to play it cool. There's Starling Marte. Better to be safe in those situations and not risk it, because that can last for a long time if you don't sit somebody down. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, you never hear of quick recoveries when they talk about the oblique. It's something I think you have to be 100% healed before you want to risk swinging a bat.
He's got to have a bigger chain. There's got to be somehow he can get a larger 6. Oh, that would have been nice. Just a flare that would have dropped in, would have had at least a couple bases and maybe even scored a run. 2-2 on Polanco. Pirates winning game 1 last night. Polanco was 1 for 4.
You would think Ross would have a hard time against left-handed hitters. I think he's hitting around
266.
266. You'd think it'd be higher than that. He really doesn't have anything that goes away from the lefty. Everything comes in. You know, it's like I said, mostly fastball, slider. He's thrown a bunch of sliders here to Gregory Polanco. Doesn't have an overpowering fastball. Really no changeup to speak of.
Andy Green, 3rd-year skipper of the San Diego Padres, continuing their rebuild. Line foul into the seats.
And so that's what he's trying to do to Gregory Polanco. The first 3 pitches, sliders that were in on him. And a guy you really want to look for the ball up in the zone. That slider will break out of the zone if you see it down around the knees or just above the knees. So especially early in the count, look for something elevated. Most of those sliders are going to break below the knees if it starts out just above it. But there you go. And he has to be careful. He has a cluster of those sliders down and into Polanco. Good at bat.
Back-to-back leadoff walks. They'll bring up Corey Dickerson. We take a look at AARP take on Corey Dickerson versus Tyson Ross. Dickerson 313 and 18 previous matchups. Double, couple of homers. Dickerson also walked twice, has an OPS of over 1,000 against Tyson Ross. An early trip to the mound, 3 batters in. Tyson Ross is already getting the visit from Darren Balsley, pitching coach. Ross flirted with a no-hitter. I guess that's not headline news anymore in Major League Baseball, but on April the 20th in Phoenix, he retired the first 2 batters in the 8th inning. He was throwing a no-hitter at the Diamondbacks before Christian Walker delivered a pinch hit double. 50 seasons for the Padres, no no-nos. Jordan Lyles, the most recent Padre to flirt with a no-no, and there's a strike on Dickerson. Corey Dickerson hitting in the 3 spot with Marte on the disabled list. Dickerson 1 for 4. The RBI double in the 4th inning last night, and then got the ball put in play in his final at bat in the 7th inning. There was a runner at third base, 2 outs. There were 2 strikes on him against a left-hander, Matt Strahm, and that 2-strike approach that Pirate fans have been able to enjoy early going this season with Corey Dickerson. He grounded to the third baseman, and Christian Villanueva booted it for an error that brought in the eventual winning run. 0-2 on him.
Going down on the knee, wasting that slider, borderline strike down and in.
It's fun to have John with us tonight for a number of reasons. Again, we're thrilled that Steve Blass receives this award from the Heinz History Center. So John filling in. John doesn't do a lot of home games, but here Austin Meadows is making his Major League debut, and we get a chance to use all of our great cameras, all of the great looks at a guy like Corey Dickerson, his approach. Another foul.
Definitely a nerve-wracking experience getting called up for the first time, and you just want to get your firsts out of the way. The first play in the outfield, the first at bat, the first hit.
So it's still, I mean, there
Oh yeah,
all kinds of,
I mean,
nerves going on
you
in
know,
there.
the one thing I've been most impressed with is we've seen so many young players make their debuts the last few years, and especially the pitchers. They seem all so calm and composed.
That's a double play ball. Tyson Ross, just like his mound opponent Ivan Nova, it's a big double play. 2 outs.
But you know, Austin looks pretty relaxed so far. I doubt would be the case once he takes his first at bat, first time he steps into the batter's box.
Brian Esposito, his manager at AAA Indianapolis yesterday, he was the DH for the Indianapolis Indians, and after the game, his last at bat he doubled, and his manager calls him into the office and says, hey, you know, how come you didn't make 3 on that? It could have been a triple. And Austin was awfully nervous because Esposito said it in a stern voice, didn't crack a smile. He thought, well, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess I really should have. And he said, well, don't do that in the big leagues. Huh? Yep, you're going to Pittsburgh. Couldn't hold his swing. It's 1 ball and 1 strike on Josh Bell. Bell 2 for 4 last night. RBI single in the 5th gives him 26 runs batted in for the year. It's this hard to left. Cordero back over his head and off the wall. 1-0 Pirates. Josh Bell into second base with a ringing double.
He's back to doing what we've seen him do so many times last year. I mean, this almost looked like a one-handed swing. It's a fastball away from him, and he's just reaching out. He gets barreled to it, as you can see there, but it wasn't like a big hard swing. Just very handsy. Just I'm going to reach out and just get the barrel to it. Just smooth and effortless, and it jumps some 375 feet straight away to left field.
Almost got it out of here. Here's Colin Moran. Josh Bell 1-0 with his double, bringing home Frazier, and that 2-out base hit too. Boy, the Pirates have just been doing all kinds of great work offensively, raising their game with men on base.
Just a couple more feet. Looks like it hit about the middle of the wall. Well, maybe the bottom third of the wall, but just a few more feet. But still a big RBI double with 2 outs.
Colin Moran getting his first start at third base since Saturday. Pirates saw lefty Derek Holland on Sunday with the Giants, so David Freese started, and then on Tuesday Moran got the day off with Reynaldo Lopez on the hill for the White Sox. 2-2 was another lefty, Hector Santiago, on Wednesday, and again David Freese was at third base, and last night lefty Eric Lauer. A well-rested Colin Moran, and there's David Freese. Moran hitting .400 in 19 home games this season. He has the best batting average in the National League among rookies. One of the players the Pirates got at the Garrett Cole deal. First in OPS among National League rookies, second in ribbies. Joe Musgrove scheduled to start tonight for AAA Indy. Michael Felice has been excellent out of the bullpen late. And Moran bounces it to Asuaje. That'll do it for the Pirates, but Josh Bell's 2-out double gives the Bucks a 1-0 lead.
long time. Austin Meadows, who was drafted in the first round by the Buccos back in 2013, taking the field here in the show for the very first time against the San Diego Padres. Yes, the road has been bumpy at times, but well worth the trip.
Coming out of high school, it wasn't, it definitely wasn't a breeze, coming, going through each and every level of the system and, having 5 or 6 injuries on the way. But it makes this moment a lot greater to, appreciate. And I think that's the biggest thing is going through those, those kind of those blessings in disguise is what I call them. And that was, I think, a good thing for me to kind of realize that this is it, and I'm excited to keep going.
So he has made his way into the field in center field. He will be at the dish in the bottom half of this inning, and we will speak to mom and dad a little bit later in the broadcast. Very cool story unfolding for number 17, guys.
Yep, sure is, Dan. And family, friends, anxious as Austin Meadows will be making his first plate appearance momentarily, hopefully. And a off-speed pitch gets Cordero to swing and miss. Franchi Cordero, rookie for San Diego, is called out on strikes.
No, we're only 4 batters into this ball game, but Ivan Nova, we've already witnessed a couple of change-ups behind in the count. We've seen him throw in, now up in the zone for a called strike 3. It used to be, the catcher would pretty much just set up, maybe inner half, outer half, he'd throw that sinker and induce contact. But we're seeing him pitch more to spots, throw the changeup a couple of times. His fastball this year is getting hit a little high, a little more than we've seen since he's been a Pirate. Their opponents, I think, 318 off of it, and that's been his bread and butter. Throw it in the zone, get the late movement, get the soft contact, get the ground ball, but hasn't worked out for him the last few starts.
Pop up, Mercer out there. Dickerson coming in, but it's Mercer. And this is a good test for, I guess you'd say, both Tyson Ross and Novo when it comes to facing lefty hitters, because both clubs have stacked the deck with the lefties against these starters. And Ivan Nova, batting average against versus lefties is .337. .252 against right-handed hitters, as you see. Weak contact, and 1, 2, 3, 9 pitches. Austin Meadows will be due up second
Sportsnet is brought to you by the law firm of Bordas & Bordas. Bordas & Bordas, fighting for justice. Let's go Bucks!
Friday Night Rocks, dedicated to Gabby Barrett, finalist on American Idol, an alum of Friday Night Rocks, as Elias Diaz leads things off against Tyson Ross. Pirates leading 1-0. Diaz gets the start tonight behind the plate. Francisco Cervelli should be fine, get back in there tomorrow, but give him the night off as he jammed a finger a little bit last night, diving back to the bag. There's Austin Meadows. Diaz, .383 average.
Pretty impressive what he's been able to do, playing maybe once a week.
Galvis. And now Austin Meadows, announced for the first time in the big leagues.
Batting 7, center fielder, number 17, Austin Meadows.
'23-year-old Austin Meadows, first round pick in 2013, 9th pick overall out of the Atlanta, Georgia area. Was hitting .294 at AAA Indianapolis this season with a 7-game hitting streak. A fly ball to center field, and that wind's going to knock that down. If the wind's going the other way, as it is on most nights, that has a chance. So he is retired and gets that out of the way, and that's, can he breathe a little sigh of relief now?
That helps. Getting that first one out of the way, and just missed it. And it's like you said, that wind's blowing in hard. Who knows if there's no wind or if there's just a little breeze going the other way.
That would have been fun.
Oh yeah.
Mom, you saw her stand up there next to his brother Parker, who is committed to play ball at Clemson. Outstanding outfielder in his own right. His younger brother Parker, his fiance Alexis is in the group. Mom Stacy, dad Kenny. Shortstop Galvis will retire the Pirates shortstop Jordy Mercer, and 1-2-3 for Tyson Ross. Through 2 innings, it's 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Here at PNC Park, game 2 of 4 with the San Diego Padres. We'll sprinkle action early this afternoon and some threatening skies. Hope the rain stays away. Freddie Galvis takes the strike. And that is going to be a tough play. And Mercer didn't really have a play, so infield hit. Both hits very similar. Jankowski started the game with a ground ball to the left side. See the Buccos at PNC Park tomorrow night. Game 3 of the series. First 20,000 fans take home a Pirates vintage bobblehead thanks to AT&T Sportsnet. You can get your tickets at pirates.com/bobbleheads. Vintage bobbleheads tomorrow. The first 20,000 fans for Game 3 of this series. And Pirates haven't announced it. They'll wait till after the game. Nick Kingham is likely to start tomorrow night against Clayton Richard. Nick Kingham has had 2 outstanding starts, including his major league debut a couple of weeks ago where he flirted with a perfect game. Check swing strike on Carlos Asuaje on the foul ball. So Austin Meadows now has that first AB out of the way. And John, we've had a chance to see Meadows play in spring training for about 3 seasons, and you mentioned injuries really shortchanged him. Otherwise, he would likely have arrived sooner than tonight. And Nova doesn't get a call. Tell he was frustrated he did not, from Ted Barrett calling the balls and strikes. But what about his outfield play? Pretty smooth.
Yeah, watching him in spring training. Yeah, I mean, he looked great out there. And if you can play outfield in Bradenton in spring training, you can play anywhere. I mean, you got the sun, the winds howling on a daily basis. It's, I think, more difficult to play outfield in the spring than at any time. But yeah, he looks pretty good out there, and good athlete and good speed, good routes, pretty good throwing arm.
Talked to Joey Cora before the game. Joey Cora is the third base coach for the Pirates and managed the Altoona curve in 2011. And he said, I had him for 7 weeks and he got off to a slow start. In the last 6 weeks, he said, I don't know that I've ever seen, certainly at the AA level, anybody play the game as well as Meadows for that stretch. He said I don't like to use the word great too often, but he was great. Wondered about a guy. You hate to do this to a young player, but this is what we do when you look for a comp, some comparable player who played in the big leagues. And Joey Cora said, I guess the first guy that comes to mind a little bit is Jim Edmonds.
Yeah, you can see that. I mean, similar body types.
From Meadville, from Y'all, Georgia, to Yins, Pittsburgh. And another double play ball. How about Ivan Nova?
Again, the weak, soft contact. Beautiful thing. But I don't think fans can understand how difficult it is as a high school player. I don't care if you were drafted in the 1st round or the 10th round. You're leaving home as a 17 or an 18-year-old kid. You're going to be in Florida, then you're going to go to every level, the lowest levels, and work and play against talent that you've never played with and against in your life. And it's going to take at least 4 or 5, maybe 6 years. And that's as a number 1 or first round pick. I mean, it's a long, difficult road. And the one thing that I think is the neatest about it, and this doesn't matter if you've been up or not, you never know when that call's coming, especially as a position player. As a pitcher, they might give you a few days notice because you're in a, especially a starting pitcher. But you never know when that first call is going to come, and it is shocking.
That was the case yesterday. Again, Esposito said it tongue-in-cheek. There was nothing. It's not like Meadows. He's such a good guy. He said the manager said I should have gotten a triple, and he's thinking, really, I hustled for a double. Okay, you'd say I should have gotten a triple. I've got to agree with you. And he says, just make sure you don't do that in the big leagues. 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Welcome back inside PNC Park, where, yes, that's right, big night for that man right there, Austin Meadows, who's making his major league debut tonight. And it's not all about him. It's also about mom and dad. This is Kenny and Stacy Meadows, who, of course, made the trip up to see their son make his debut. So, took the field, first at bat. You gonna make it through the night or what?
I don't know. I'm doing well. I don't usually watch. I listen, but this time I watched. So I was proud of him. He made hard contact, so I was proud of him.
We saw the expression on your face. Kind of thought maybe with the wind and kind of swirling around.
Thought maybe. Yeah, we got very excited there for a moment, but yeah, he's definitely capable.
I'll talk to Kenny in just a second, but he tells me that the genes for Austin come from you. You played softball in college, so is this true?
Yes, it's so true. He got the arm from me, the speed from me, all of it from me. So I'll take it.
Okay, so we're done with this interview because obviously there's no reason to talk to Kenny. Just kidding. How cool a moment is this for you with all the time that you probably put in, not only as a dad, but as his first coach?
Yeah, this is just unbelievable. I mean, he works throughout his, 20 years of doing this, and I told him he's prepared for this moment. He started when he was 3, and we've supported him throughout 20 years of getting here where he wants to be, and it's just a great moment for all of us. The family be able to, come with us and enjoy the game with us, the Key Sport folks that are here locally. So that's pretty cool to have those guys up here with us.
I got to ask you about the time it took for him to get here. 5 years is 5 years, but he's battled some injuries along the way. I'm sure the phone calls home, the support he was looking for, not only as a mom, but as a fan. How much did you enjoy saying, hey, things will work out in time?
Absolutely. I mean, we just constantly encouraged him. I don't think anyone outside of baseball really understands the emotional roller coaster. And when, the scouts came into our home, they prepared us. They kept telling us mental toughness. And I never knew it. They were really talking to the moms. They were talking to the moms about the mental toughness, because the boys are fine, but you know, it's a tough road, and especially with all the injuries. But he overcame them, and he stayed positive throughout. And he honestly just, I was so proud of him, the way he handled all of the adversity, and just here we are today. So, I mean, it's just a testament to, you know, how humble he is and how much he believes in himself, and we all do, and we've always been there to support him.
Real quickly, I want to let you enjoy the rest of the game, obviously, but tell me about this big dude right here. That's another guy, right, who's got a future in Clemson, huh?
He does. He's
Austin's brother.
Austin's brother. He's a senior. He's got a chance to go in the draft here in a couple weeks, so that's real exciting for us. And he's had Austin to lean on for his experiences, so I think that's prepared him as much mentally as he can be, you know, instead of going through it himself. But I think having that resource is really helpful.
Kenny, Stacy, thanks so much for the time. Enjoy the rest of the evening. And hey, fan club, thanks so much for the time, you guys. Enjoy. Guys, it's all yours.
The Meadows. There's Austin, and thanks Dan, and thanks to Stacy and Kenny. Stacy, who, as Dan was talking about, played softball at Georgia. She's an elementary school teacher in Grayson, Georgia, which is where they're from, 40 miles northeast of Atlanta. And Adam Frazier, fairly close growing up outside of Atlanta himself. Gregory Polanco after the walk, a 1-out free pass. Nova struck out. 3 walks now for Tyson Ross. By the way, I think Stacy shortchanged Kenny. Kenny played football and baseball at Morehead State in Kentucky, so good genes for Austin, mom and dad. And a ball and a strike, and see that a whole heck of a lot. Polanco constantly having to lift up that back foot. Fastballs in, breaking balls in. Saw hopefully at the start of our telecast Gregory Polanco give the big bear hug to Austin Meadows. Jeff Branson working diligently with the Pirates right fielder. They have 3 infielders on the right side, and Freddie Galvis stays on the left side, and playing in on the grass that last pitch. There's the overshift. Spangenberg, the third baseman, now over on the right side.
Yeah, Gregory's seen, I don't know, 10, 11 pitches. I think all but one of them has either been on the inside edge of the plate or off the inside part of the plate. So they're not even throwing him anything that he can hit the other way. They're pitching him the pull.
Two RBIs for Polanco on the year. See balls in play by direction on the ground and in the air.
And you know, it has to be a pretty good slider for the numbers that Ross has, and throwing pretty much just fastball, slider, occasional cutter. And to have the numbers that he has, you know that the slider has to be a very tough pitch to pick up. It has to have good movement.
Now, Polanco almost offered at that pitch.
Yeah, I mean, you said almost threw a no-hitter, and to not have that changeup or anything, even a two-seamer that runs away from a lefty. Everything that he throws, I mean, even the fastball at times, I think he accidentally cuts it. But everything's running into a lefty, which you would think lefties would be able to adjust to it.
Runner goes, and it's chopped fair. And Hosmer makes the play and then fires to second. And, of course, they had to race toward the third base bag. Hosmer is a Gold Glover. It's the out. 2 down, 4 Gold Gloves for Hosmer.
Yeah, he got off the, not every first baseman do you see get off the bag as far as he does. 2 good hard shuffles off the first base bag, and a lot of first basemen don't get off but maybe 3 or 4 or 5 feet, but he was off far enough to where he had to actually make a pretty good backhand play on that ball.
Dickerson bounced into a double play in the first. Hard hit into the seats right side, and that whacked Rafi Lopez.
Yeah, that looked like it got a good piece of him. Hanging slider there, and just got the edge of the bat off the mask.
Sounded worse.
Yeah, I thought it got. I thought the barrel got him on the side of the head. Looks like it just got the end of the bat off the front of the mask.
To left, Dickerson, base hit, runner wave, and he scores. Frazier in, Dickerson another ribby with 2 outs. It's 2-0.
It's just fun to watch this guy swing the bat. And he has done that. It seems like he's done that a dozen times already this year. He gets a pitch away from him and just slaps it the other way. I mean, you're talking about a guy with some pretty good pop. He didn't even see where it went, kind of chuckling to himself out of the batter's box.
Frazier scores 29 RBIs now for Dickerson. He takes off, and it's chopped towards second. Bell is the final out, but another 2-out hit, and it's 2-0.
It's time for the Toyota all-wheel drive RAV4 inning. Toyota, what drives you?
2-0. Corey Dickerson. The Doc delivers on Star Wars night. Guy looked like Mark Hamill. Star Wars night, Friday Night Rocks. It's a fireworks night. It's Austin Meadows' debut. The Pirates red hot, leading the National League Central by a half game over Milwaukee. Steve Blass getting an award. We got The Rock on Friday Night Rocks. line to left and a base hit for Travis Jankowski. You know, it was proposed that we have John Wayner in for every Friday night to make it a true Friday Night Rocks. Either you or Bill Schroeder from the Brewers, who's also nicknamed The Rock.
We can work that into the contract, I'm sure. Renegotiate.
Do you feel like you're out of your element when you're doing a home game? It's kind of weird.
Everything's a little weird, yes. It is. We bat second. We don't bat first. You know, the lineup, my lineup scorecards flip-flopped. It's a little different.
You got all the toys available to you here.
Lots of toys. We got all kind of, we got booms and a million.
Yeah, Billy Murillo
TVs.
sets up this booth.
Yeah.
I mean, this is our home.
Yeah.
And he does us up right. And you don't get to see the parrot.
The parrot
most nights.
The best mascot I hardly ever get to see.
Nova gave up a leadoff hit to Travis Jankowski to start the ball game, then got Spangenberg to hit into a double play. Do you know the Renegades of the Rotunda?
They get enough airtime.
Yeah.
I see them on TV.
Yeah. It's a shot at Pete Toma. There is a stolen base for Jankowski. He's 5 for 5.
Well, that might take away the chance for a double play as Nova got 2 in the first 3 innings. Good jump. Look at the lean. He was leaning ever since he took off.
They're 5th in the National League at stolen bases, and that's his 5th steal since his call up from the minors. And a bunt for Spangenberg. Ball and a strike on the man from Clark Summit, Pennsylvania. Andy Green's club went 71 and 91 last year, 33 games back of the Dodgers. That 71 and 91 record, only 3 games better than their 2016 mark. One ball, 2 strikes. Padres and Dodgers have the same amount of wins. 17. Padres have lost 2 more games. This road trip for the Friars will continue into D.C. next week, while the Pirates briefly will go to Cincinnati for 3 and then back home against the Cardinals and Cubs. It'll be quite a showdown next weekend. Time called just as Nova was ready to go.
Yeah, Pirates, no team in the National League with more wins. Pretty impressive start for Clint Hurdle.
What a job by Stephen Brault and that bullpen again last night. He offers. Yes, sir. It's the strikeout, so Spangenberg not even able to move. Jankowski, second K for Nova. It'll bring up Eric Hosmer.
Breaking ball well down and out of the strike zone, and I guess when you throw so many fastballs, you just go up there assuming you're going to get a fastball, and so Spangenberg offering that pitch before recognizing spin.
Hosmer flied to left his first time up against Nova. Hosmer career 400 hitter versus Nova. Both these players spent a lot of time in the American League. Nova with the Yankees and Hosmer with the Royals. Star Wars night. Impression of Darth Vader. Not a very good one by the Parrot. Gets a call. 2-1. There's Ted Barrett, crew chief, calling the balls and strikes. Jankowski single to left to start this fourth. And Hosmer with 19 RBIs. Drove in 3 last night. Rips this one to right. And Jankowski will score as Hosmer into second base with a double. 2-1.
He hit that one like he knew it was coming. Nova tried to go inside on Hosmer. We'll see if it ended up inside. Maybe didn't quite get it in there enough. Probably wanted it in just a few more inches, but Hosmer looks like he was sitting on something middle in. Put a good swing on it.
They are raving about Eric Hosmer's professionalism in the clubhouse and great pickup, even though Padres, as we said, are still involved in a pretty major rebuild. Don't figure to contend anytime soon. Franchi Cordero takes a ball. Cordero hit third in the order last night.
You can tell he was looking fastball there, and that changeup had some good movement running away from him, had him way out in front. That's one thing, Greg, when I'm here, I never get tired of the view.
Yep, that's true. Tops this one to the right side. Bell. Nope. Bell decided to go glove to glove, and that looked like it might be trouble from the very beginning, and it's first and third. Should have been the second out.
Just like a little swinging nubber, and it gets it to Nova. Yeah, the flip was good enough.
It's going to be an error on Nova.
Yeah, it just looked like Yvonne took his eye off the ball. Right before it got to his glove, shut the glove a little too soon.
And what comes to mind right away is the ball that Nova did not catch his last start in the 6th inning. He talked about that if he handles a chopper right back to the mound off the bat of Pablo Sandoval and the Giants on Sunday, it would have been the 3rd out and would have given up just the home run to Gorkis Hernandez, and it would have been a 1-0 game and changed the whole complexion. But instead, the ball deflected off his glove and went for a single. And then Brandon Crawford followed with an RBI double. That's when the Pirates called on reliever Richard Rodriguez, who gave up a 3-run homer to Nick Hundley. And so the Nova line went 5 2/3, 4 runs, 8 hits. But he talked about not making that play. And he'll really be kicking himself now if this inning amounts to much more. You have a chance here when you're playing a team like the Padres struggling offensively. If you're Nova, it's first and third, one out. He's already gotten 2 double play balls. Padres hitting .229. Matt Stairs is the hitting coach for these San Diego Padres, the 9th hitting coach in 15 years since Petco Park opened. So not a lot of job security in that role. A one-time Pirate talking to bench coach Mark McGuire. Matt Stairs, good guy, played parts of 19 big league seasons, 12 franchises, including the Bucks and the Padres. 2-1. Rafi Lopez starting again tonight behind the plate. Austin Hedges, their starting catchers, on the disabled list. Lopez, a Philadelphia native. Chance for 2 again, but a drop, so they get 1. And it's 2-2.
Yeah, Lopez, no chance of him beating that out if that ball's fielded cleanly. That would have been huge.
They'll give Lopez an RBI.
Yeah, just came up on him just a bit.
Adam Frazier has to settle for the out at first. And 2-2. Here's Franmil Reyes. And Frazier was starting to look more and more comfortable. The more consecutive games he was out there at second base, it's been a little bit sporadic. Max Moroff at the start at second base each of the last 2 nights. Josh Harrison, good chance we'll see him back perhaps as early as tomorrow, maybe sometime this weekend. Strike on Reyes, 1-1.
And no doubt I would think that we'd see Harrison when we head to his hometown.
No doubt we'll be, Cincinnati,
very latest
Tuesday. Max Moroff getting some opportunities and got the inning going last night, a bunt single. Scored a tying run late. Well, 5th inning, bunt single that led to the tying run. Josh Harrison is the DH tonight for Altoona, Double-A affiliate of the Pirates. And he's picked up at least 1 hit. One ball, 2 strikes on the rookie, 22-year-old from the Dominican Republic. Just 9 major league at bats for Franmil Reyes, with 4 strikeouts. Hit .346 at El Paso. AAA affiliate of these Padres. And he strikes him out. Padres tie it 2-2. Baseball discover the unique connection between the Pirates' greatest pitcher and their current AA hitting coach. Plus, find out where you can take a tour devoted entirely to Carnegie's favorite son, Hannes Wagner. Those stories and our top plays debuting tomorrow night after Pirates postgame. Here on AT&T Sportsnet, the UPMC scoreboard, it's 2-2, and here is Colin Moran with Elias Diaz to follow, and then Austin Meadows against Tyson Ross. Moran bounced out to end the first. Pops this ball out of play. Moran has hit safely in 6 of his last 7 games. And like Austin Meadows, was a first-round pick in 2013. Moran was selected 6th overall that year by the Miami Marlins. And then 3 picks later, the Pirates went with Austin Meadows. The 2013 first round included Chris Bryant going 2 overall. The reason the Pirates got Meadows, that pick, was because they had the year before selected Mark Appel out of Stanford, and Appel and his agent Scott Boras didn't sign with the Pirates, so the Bucks got the compensation. That 9th pick, Austin Meadows. Appel then was selected number 1 overall the following year by the Astros. Then Chris Bryant went to the Cubs. John Gray to the Rockies. Clint Frazier, who was drafted by Cleveland but is now a top prospect with the New York Yankees, was 5th overall. Colin Moran. Hunter Dozier, who had a couple of cups of coffee with Kansas City. And a bouncer to first, Hosmer.
And how about Appel just quit, huh?
Yep. Yeah, he was just
something.
Things were not going well for him. Just never get it on track.
And especially, I mean, I think there's a lot more risk when you draft a high school player than a college player. College player, obviously, more closer, older. And so you had to think the Astros thought, well, what a safe pick.
Right.
Guarantee.
Number 1 overall.
Smart guy, yep. Stanford,
yep.
you know. But it's tough. It's a tough, long road. And that's what the thing that I think fans need to understand, that these guys, how hard it is to get through the minor leagues and keep climbing and failing, overcoming those failures and injuries and so many different things.
There's a first rounder, Jameson Tyone there. Of course, the injuries he's gone through. Hit hard, but at the shortstop, Galvis. And you know, it's because of who the Phillies drafted. Speaking of Freddie Galvis, now it comes full circle. The Phillies drafted that same year in 2013 a high school shortstop, J.P. Crawford. And it was his emergence that allowed the Phillies to move Galvis to San Diego over the winter. And here is Austin Meadows. His family nervously watching. Flied out in his first big league at bat. Meadows went 7 for 19 this spring. The big league spring training before he was sent down. That's a 368 average.
I think that's one of the toughest things to do, is just to kind of stay calm in your at-bats as a position player in your debut, and not swing at everything. I think anytime I see a guy making his debut and they're taking borderline pitches, whether they're balls or strikes, and you don't see a flinch, you don't see them jumping, tells you that they're way more relaxed than I was.
Meadows with his first big league hit in his second major league at bat. Austin Meadows. Look at Mom, the way she reacted. And that baseball will be headed to Grayson, Georgia. Whose heart is racing faster? Mom or Austin's?
Yeah, that's a good question. And he hit it a little bit off the end of the bat, but hit it hard enough. Up the middle enough. Heck yeah.
Got good wheels too. He has stolen 8 in 9 attempts this season, so you never know. Meadows said when Brian Esposito, his manager, told him that he was going to the major leagues, said the first thing he did was pick up his cell phone and call Mom. And there he goes. And it's taken for a ball, and he's got his first major league steal.
It's just baseball, same game. He didn't get a great jump to go, which shows you that the speed he has. A little bit of a high throw. But still quick enough to beat the tag.
See if Jordy Mercer can get Meadows home for his first big league run. Get all the firsts out of the way here in the 4th inning. We've got Nova on deck with first base open. Really no reason to even throw a strike, so they'll walk him intentionally after all.
You always wonder, you know, what's going through a manager's mind in those situations, whether or not they want to pitch to that 8th hitter with first base open. And you know, a lot of them have trust that their pitcher won't give that guy anything to hit that 8th hitter and hope that they chase.
But when you have such an automatic out, and Nova has become that, why risk it?
Exactly.
Nova hasn't had a hit in 45 straight major league at bats. And that'll be the final out as the Bucks strand a couple. Austin Meadows will get some congrats. It's 2-2.
Sportsnet is brought to you by Barrel Automotive. Visit our new Kia showroom in Wexford. More vehicles than ever at the very best prices. And by Allegheny Health Network, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates and fans like you. Let's go Bucks!
2-2 ball game. Heading to the 5th. Austin Meadows. Maybe can relax a little bit. He was nervous at all to begin with.
Had to be, somewhat.
MLB at Bat is your #1 Pirates app. Customize your experience. Catch every moment this season. Get Pirates home screen icons and features like the MLB.com TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. Well, Nova gave up 2 runs, 1 earned last inning, as the Padres tied it. Bottom third of the order, Freddie Galvis, Carlos Asuaje, and Tyson Ross. All one, and Nova just absolutely breezed through the first 3 innings. No problems whatsoever. Quick, efficient. Then Jankowski led off last inning with a hit, stole second. He worked to strike out Spangenberg. Hosmer ripped a double to right. If he catches the flip from Bell off the bat of Cordero, that's the second out, and then he got the next hitter, Lopez, to ground out. But he dropped Frazier's flip. He had to throw some extra pitches, face another batter, gave up an unearned run.
Yeah, defense, which has been pretty solid for the Pirates. Just a couple of plays. 2 chances to just give up the 1.
And that double play ball that Lopez hit, Frazier dropped it, had to settle for the 1 out. It's Will Little over there at third.
I know this, it's been fun to watch. I mean, these guys, you know, the starting pitching hasn't been great, but they've been good.
Yeah, good enough.
Good enough. The bullpen, which we thought might be a problem after the first week or so, has really been good. The offense continues to be solid. Took advantage of some opportunities in this homestand so far.
And John, you and I were kind of talking before the game. We're not saying that this team is going to win the division, but we're saying, like, why not enjoy this time?
Exactly.
What is it? I don't get that.
Yeah.
Look at this. He's going to toss the glove. The ball got stuck in the webbing. So we've seen this in the past, where a pitcher doesn't have time to fish it out of there. So Nova throws his glove with the ball in the webbing to Bell.
Yeah, I think between the fingers of the glove, it kind of got between not quite the web, but it looked like it was in the fingers, and he figured, well, I'm not going to risk it. Just flip it on over there.
I don't think I've ever seen the first baseman drop his glove in order to catch another glove, though. That's a first. Usually the first baseman, well, that almost
I know
that could have come out on its way to Bell.
Yeah, maybe Josh thought you can't have 2 gloves.
Yeah.
Not allowed to catch a ball with 2 gloves.
Thought there might be a rule. So to be safe. One, 2 on Asuaje.
One thing I'll say about Nova, I don't know if we're seeing as much movement, but I mean, he's throwing, it seems, harder, more consistently than we've seen. Maybe even more 4-seam fastballs, pitching up a little bit more.
There's a breaking. Oh my goodness.
Not sure.
Doesn't get a call.
Yeah, that's all the way in the zone. Maybe with Diaz going to the backhand.
Diaz decided to bring the glove up too, by the way, when he obviously didn't have to try and frame it. 2-2 on Asuaje.
what I find is interesting is when a batter takes that pitch, which would be the third strike, how they're not like already like moving towards the dugout.
Right, exactly. Knowing you just got, I mean, you got all zone. Win one for the Wookiee on Star Wars night. Three and two on a Swahe. Lines this to left. Dickerson there. 2 down. It almost becomes headline news when Nova falls behind a hitter. He gives Dickerson a nice round of applause.
Look at the deep route. Dickerson takes a deep route. I mean, you know, sometimes you'll see an outfielder maybe take a sharper angle. He just stayed deep and worked his way to the gap and made it look easy again.
Worked so hard at this game, knowing he's got some shortcomings, not blessed with the greatest arm or speed. Not a very big guy, 0-2, but works extremely hard and was an all-star last year with Tampa Bay. Ross has a big league homer. One ball, 2 strikes on Tyson Ross. Two and two. And Nova has had to throw some extra pitches again here because of not getting that earlier third strike call when Swahe was at the plate. And now Ross spoils one. Two wins this season. Came in his first 4 games. Against the Cubs at Wrigley on April the 10th, and then 5 days later against the Marlins in Miami. April 15th, his last win. And a broken bat. Bouncer to Mercer. And the Padres go down in order against Devon Nova. Tied at 2. Night Rocks, presented by Pittsburgh Brewing. And the pierogi race on Star Wars night. Looks like Burt won. Austin Meadows, Major League debut. Last inning, collected his first Major League hit and stolen base. Talking there with Corey Dickerson. And Ivan Nova putting up a 0 in the top of the 5th, the bottom third of the order. Back to the top for the Pirates. And what we thought would really be a heavyweight matchup here. Frazier against Tyson. And Frazier has walked both times.
And came around to score both times.
Bell doubled him home in the first. Dickerson singled home Frazier in the third. And there's Hosmer.
By the way, on Friday Night Rocks, did you see Gabby last week?
Yeah, she threw out the ceremonial first pitch. She sang "God Bless America."
Well, what I mean
the
is,
American Idol film crew was on hand.
Did you watch the show last week?
No. Didn't. You did though, right?
She should win. 3 remaining. She should win.
You're going to vote for her?
I don't vote, but she should win.
Well,
I think she's the best of the
anybody
3.
can vote, right?
Yeah. I'm not real good at that.
You're not good at voting?
No.
So it's Sunday night?
Sunday night. The only thing I always wonder, there's 2 girls and a young man that is a country singer. I always think there's more girls than guys watching, and the girls always think the kids are cute, and so I think that the votes go to the boys more so than the girls.
Is the country music singer Luke Bryan?
He's the judge.
Oh. You're talking about the contestants that remain, you mean?
Yes.
Oh. So Luke Bryant's one of the judges.
He can't win.
Who are the?
He's already a pro.
Who are the other judges?
He's already gotten to the big leagues.
Well, but he must like because she's kind of country rock.
Yeah, she's got a country. Then there's another girl that's a very unique and very good as well. I think Gabby and the other girl are by far the best. But the boy obviously is cute, and girls dig him and vote for him, and so that's your final 3. But I think Gabby is, she's good. Really, really, really good.
Well, we kind of discovered her last year. So there's a line drive toward the right field corner and stays fair, but bounces out of play. So Polanco will trot into second base with a ground rule double.
Nice to see anytime Gregory Polanco attacks the ball in the inner half of the plate, that in the inner third of the plate, and he keeps it fair, that's short and direct to the ball. And you're using your hands when you're keeping that ball fair. We've seen several times tonight Gregory fouling pitches off that were on the inner third or on the inside corner, but stayed through that one nicely.
Almost picked off a stormtrooper down there. That would have been cool. Knocked a lightsaber out of their hands. Corey Dickerson singled home Frazier in the third. He hit into a double play in the first inning. Pop up, shallow left. A nice play by Cordero coming in quickly. Speaking of nice plays, how about this Corey Dickerson catch in the top of the 5th, brought to you by StatCast. John was talking about the efficiency. Quick first step.
50-50 catch probability there. And the first step, that is the key thing. And we saw in last night's game, Corey Dickerson with a game-changing double that he hit the left. And in that game, the left fielder Cordero, his first step, 0.9 seconds. That's an eternity in the outfield. And so that first step is huge. What kind of jump you can get. And not only did he get a bad jump, I mean, he took a bad route, and then he made a bad decision. You know,
right.
If you can't catch it, pull it up,
right.
Pull up and keep it in front of you. Yeah. Keep runners at first and second. And he had no chance of catching it. Let it get by him. Big play in that game.
Josh Bell ahead of the count, 2-0. He doubled a line drive off the padded wall and left. Picked up his 27th RBI of the year. Gave the Pirates a 1-0 lead. Last time up, he bounced to second. A borderline strike, 2-1. Tyson Ross. Last time the Pirates saw Tyson Ross was 2015, and he started the game against the Pirates here at PNC Park, but lasted only 2 innings because of an hour-and-a-half rain delay. Polanco having some fun there with Freddie Galvis. 5 career starts against the Bucks, a 3.29 ERA. And Bell a pop up to shallow center. Galvis calling for it. And then he veers off as Jankowski makes the shoestring catch.
Whoa. Goes to show you what that wind's doing to the ball tonight.
Park, you know, the Buccos have been hosting the Soldier Salute for quite some time here, but tonight it was a little bit different as Forrest and Mary Kay Smith were on the field watching the video board, taking a look at their son, Justin Smith. And then that video came to life as Justin came out of the tunnel and onto the field to say hello to the family and all these friends here on the Skull Party deck. All right, so Mary Kay, let me start with you. You're watching the video board. Your son is serving overseas, and all of a sudden he appears in real life. What was that like?
I couldn't find him. I knew he was alive, and I just couldn't see where he was. So that was a little scary because I just wanted to hold him, and I couldn't find him. But we found him. I'm still in shock. I'm still shaking.
But still, you had not seen him in person in 11 months. So how cool is that?
It's unbelievable, especially being in Korea. And it was nice to have him in this soil, finally.
Talk to Dad, Forrest. You're trying to be cool and hold a straight face, but I saw a tear come out afterwards. What was that moment like for you?
It's totally awesome, Dan. I tell you what, I turned around and there he was. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I couldn't find him, so I ran after him. There he was.
So I know you wanted to do your Pittsburgh Geeks accent, and I know Justin's very embarrassed. But in all honesty, tell me, Justin, it's okay. This is Justin Smith. How cool is it for you to set this up? And if I'm correct, you actually tried to set this up with the Pirates, had tickets already bought, about 90 to 100 if I'm correct. So Bob Nutting and the Buckos said, you know what, just go over to the Skull party deck and he'll take care of all the drinks and food.
He did. It was incredible. The Pirates organization just hooked us up entirely. They really just did a great job in accommodating us, and I'm so grateful. I can never repay them for what they were able to do for me and my family. Like, this is absolutely incredible.
Before I let you go, you've got 1 week here in Pittsburgh and then another week in Charleston, South Carolina. All family together, everybody?
Yes, sir. All of us. Like, half the people here will be down in Charleston with us. It's just going to be an incredible moment.
Thanks for letting me share the moment with you guys. Have lots of fun. Guys, back up to you. Yeah!
Quite a moment and quite a catch as Corey Dickerson battles the gusts of wind. And watch this play.
Look at the flags. You can see the flags. Wow. That ball just stopped and started going the other direction.
That's a heck of a catch.
That is a heck of a catch. Maybe not the most,
I don't know what the catch probability.
Yeah, the most efficient. It wasn't the most efficient route, but again, the wind playing tricks.
He was trying to go back behind it and ended up having Allegheny Health Network Supermo. He's fun to watch.
Yes, he is.
So it's 2 outs. The first batter, Jankowski, struck out looking. And then the Spangenberg fly to left, and now Hosmer. Obviously the one big bat in this lineup, though can't discount the rookie Franchi Cordero on deck, who has knocked in 17, but doesn't have the pedigree of a Hosmer. He's already driven in 4 runs in this series. Talking about 6 at bats. So Nova hates to walk guys. Like, he just doesn't walk people. He's allowed 7 in 56 innings.
You would think that he would stay away on Hosmer. You're not. It's going to take a bolt to hit one out the left. You don't want to give him anything he can pull to right.
So a check swing, base hit. And here is a test for Dickerson. Gets to it quickly, throws towards second, and safe. As Frazier tries to dive, hoping that maybe Hosmer would come off the bag. 2 doubles for Hosmer.
Yeah, this a little lucky, a little check swing double. Didn't mean to, but Hosmer out of the box hustling. Corey Dickerson, as soon as he saw it hit, was hustling, and you knew it was going to be a close play there at second base. The throw just a little bit off. If the throw's on line, probably the 3rd out of the inning.
Eventful couple of plays toward left. Here is Cordero. Big cut and the miss. Uses that thumb guard.
Yeah, I thought I saw something flying. I wasn't sure if it was a piece of the bat or what, but
using it for index finger rather than the thumb. Ball and a strike, a 2-2 ball game, and Hosmer at second for Franchi Cordero. 23-year-old from the Dominican Republic. See the pitch count for Nova. And a base hit. Here comes Dickerson. They're going to wave home Hosmer, and the throw to the plate is off the mark, and it's 3-2 as Cordero moves to second on the throw. The Padres take the lead in the 6th.
A little bad luck. You think of the check swing double and then this. You got to tip your cap, though, to Cordero, who was looking, it appeared, looking to pull the ball most of the night, and got enough soft stuff to where he got a changeup, I believe, away and just went with it. Changed his approach, knowing that Nova threw him a breaking ball, threw him a changeup away, ended up looking away and got it off the end of the bat. It's a big RBI base hit.
Well, Elias Diaz to the mound to buy some extra time for the bullpen. Ray Searage now slowly walk out to the hill. Inning started with a strikeout of Jankowski looking. The Spangenberg fly to left. Now a double and a single. San Diego up by a run. Is Kyle Crick in the Pirates' pen. Last night, aside, the Pirates scored 1 unearned run against Matt Strom. The Padres bullpen has been a bright spot. You really can't afford to fall too far behind San Diego. Now Lopez takes a pitch in the dirt, checks his swing. He picked up an RBI on that ground ball, sharply hit at Adam Frazier, that was dropped, so any hopes of an inning-ending double play erased. Got the out at first, but a run came in to score. Pulled toward Bell. And Nova to first. Padres pick up a run and now lead at 3-2.
Sportsnet is brought to you by the Chevy Silverado and your Western PA Chevy dealers, and by Levin's. the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
Ivan Nova and Clint Hurdle. Looking as though that's going to be it for Nova. Maybe trying to talk Clint Hurdle into staying, but over 90 pitches. Ross at 84. Tyson Ross faces Colin Moran with the Bucks down a run. Came back a couple of times last night to the Padres, did the Bucks. And Moran is hit by a pitch to start the inning. That stings.
Hopefully the Pirates can make it hurt.
Yeah. Already hurts Moran. Let's hope it hurts Ross and the Padres. Allegheny Health Network Supermo.
Tow truck.
What do you need when you get hit on the shin like that? We got to come up with a good pun.
Yeah.
Elias Diaz. Takes strike one. 2 ground balls to short for Elias Diaz. He has hit just a couple of home runs in limited play. He's been backing up Francisco Cervelli. Ross has given up 4.
That would have been a nice little break if that got by. That slider. Nice little pick by Lopez. Diaz has done such a nice job of taking the ball up the middle, hitting the ball the other way, and a guy like Ross has had him out in front twice, a little bit off the end of the bat on 2 ground balls to short. See if Elias can make the adjustment, see the ball a little bit longer, drive a ball into that opposite gap.
Well, goes to right, but it's going to be easy for Reyes. Brings up Austin Meadows. And Point Park University tweets, enjoying the Major League debut of Austin Meadows.
Austin Meadows, when he signed with the Pirates, oddly enough, I worked here that game.
That is odd.
And he was in the booth, and we interviewed him. And he talked about how he couldn't how he couldn't wait to have an opportunity to hit a ball in a river.
Oh.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Almost 5 years later.
Slowed by injuries, hamstring issues, limited his playing time in 2014, and last year had that freak accident late spring training of 2016 when a deflected ball during warm-ups in the outfield hit him in the eye, fractured his orbital bone. That combined with another hamstring problem that limited him to 87 games that year in 2016, and an oblique strain kept him out of the Arizona Fall League at the end of the season, trying to make up for lost time.
And again, I'm sure much more relaxed now than his first AB, and probably even after the second at bat where he got his first major league hit. And again, you like to see the quietness as he took that pitch that was down in the zone for ball 2, and not a flinch. It means he's not overthinking it. He's seeing it and just reacting to what he sees.
And a base hit. Austin Meadows is 2 for 3.
And maybe a cutter came in on the hands. You'll see the late movement up a bit. Didn't quite get the barrel to it. But that's always a nice thing for a left-handed batter when you have a runner over there at first base. You have that big hole on the right side. As you see, Hoffer comes off a couple of steps, but he can't get there. The second baseman in double play depth, Swahe. An opportunity here for Jordy Mercer with just 1 out.
Mercer has 5 hits and 10 career at-bats against Tyson Ross. Bounced out his first time and then was walked intentionally. Mercer suddenly hitless in his last 16 at-bats. He is due. Line foul.
One thing we haven't seen from Tyson Ross is, again, 89, 90, 91 mile per hour with the fastball and the slider, occasional cutter. He hasn't left many pitches in the middle of the zone. That pitch was left up just a little bit to Jordy, and he was just a little bit out in front. But he hasn't made many mistakes in the heart of the zone. And there you see that ball about thigh high, outer half.
Line to left field, deep, and a nice play by the left fielder Cordero.
Wind killed it.
Ball hit hard by Jordy Mercer. Cordero got to it. Yeah, the wind knocked it down.
And Jordy can't believe it because he crushed it. And I'm thinking he hit that ball. He probably thought it may have been a 3-run homer, at the very least a double. Didn't hit it all that high, but he hit it high enough to have that wind just knock it down. And Jordy, 2 pretty good swings at a couple of pitches up in the zone from Ross.
David Freese announced as the pinch hitter, so Darren Balsley, this is something that was standard operating procedure for pitching coaches the last handful of years. As soon as a pinch hitter was announced, they'd come out and give a scouting report, but not nearly as frequent with this limited number of trips. Well, that's it for Nova. Freese bats for him. Jordy Mercer. One of the hardest hit balls of the night right there.
And there's that late breaking slider.
Moran at second, Meadows at first, now with 2 outs. Chases again.
Just got from Jason out in the truck, 103 mile per hour exit velocity on that Mercer ball, and 83% hit probability. And that wind just seems like it's blowing harder.
Yep. Go out even farther, but Freese doesn't chase. Yeah, flags whipping around all night long. Sometimes viciously. And Freese goes down swinging. Pirates leave a couple, trail by 1. Six hits, UPMC scoreboard 3-2. San Diego leading here at PNC Park, so Nova leaves, cannot win it, but hopes not to lose it. And our Barrel League leaders, one of the reasons the Pirates came into tonight with the lead in the National League Centrals, because the great job the bullpen has done, especially since April the 12th.
Pretty impressive. Hope to keep it just at 1. And Kyle Crick has done good work, 10 1/3 innings in 12 appearances, a 2.61 ERA. 4 more strikeouts than innings pitched.
Two on Franmil Reyes. Wow. Nice work there. Whoa. One out, brings up Freddie Galvis. Sundays are kids' days at PNC Park. Bring the family to the ballpark this Sunday. Pirates Padres 1:35. Kids 14 and under get kids wristbands presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. And don't forget, come on out to the family fun zone before the game out on Federal Street. And after the game, kids can run the bases. Go to pirates.com/kidsdays. And the first pitch, strike on Freddie Galvis. Belated happy 10th wedding anniversary to Mike and Aaron Tobias. As Mercer makes the play on the line out, 2 away.
Jody has taken some pleasure in taking away a hit from the opposition after that bullet he hit.
Carlos Asuaje. Jose Pirela coming out on deck. Bullpen action for San Diego. Suaje lined out to Corey Dickerson in left field his last time, and lines here to Josh Bell. Couple of lineouts. Inning started with a strikeout. 7th inning stretch time. Pirates trail by 1. The home crowd, his major league debut with a couple of hits. And he'll get at least one more shot as the Pirates look for their 14th comeback of the season. They'll have to do it against that tough bullpen we mentioned. Double switch coming up for San Diego, and Matt Caesar takes over in right field, batting in the pitcher's spot, which will be due up first for the Padres next inning. And Kirby Yates, saw him pitch last night. Yates pitched 1 1/3 scoreless innings, retired all 4 men that he faced: Sean Rodriguez, Jordy Mercer, Jose Osuna, and Max Moroff.
I think he's due to give up some runs. At ERA at .64. Opponents getting too many hits against the right-hander.
Near the bottom of the 7th inning, it's Adam Frazier, Gregory Polanco, and Corey Dickerson. Starling Marte was placed on the disabled list today, so Clint Hurdle moves Dickerson into the 3 spot. And Austin Meadows called up to play center field and making his major league debut. Tyson Ross went 6 in line to get the win. 5 hits, couple of runs, 3 walks, couple of strikeouts. Walked Frazier twice. Frazier scored both Pirates runs.
You look at the Padres bullpen. You mentioned they're doing good work without really any flamethrowers. It's rare to not see relievers coming out all throwing 95 plus. Yates averages about 93 miles per hour. Fastball slider split behind to Frazier, 2-0.
To center field. Jankowski. Again, a ball that was hit well by Frazier dies on the track. We check out the Nissan road ahead, the starting pitching matchup tomorrow. Clayton Richard will start, the lefty for San Diego, and Nick Kingham, the likely Pirate starter. And then on Sunday, Trevor Williams for Pittsburgh against Jordan Lyles. There's Trevor. He'll be aiming for his 6th win. As he studies this situation, Polanco doubled to right his last time up. Kirby Yates gave up 10 homers in just under 56 innings last year. Out of the San Diego bullpen, but no long balls yet. Polanco, a couple of at-bats in the past against Kirby Yates. 2 hits, one of those a homer. And again, the overshift. Oh! 93 miles an hour right in on Polanco. Second batter Yates has hit this season in 14 in the 3rd innings.
Right, and that you think about a Charlie horse. That's a heck of a Charlie horse right there, right in the thigh, and that caught him good.
So he's on first the hard way. Second straight inning in which a Pirates hitter has been plunked. Corey Dickerson 1 for 3. There goes Polanco right away. Pitch taken for a strike. Not close. 3rd steal for Polanco.
Good stuff right there. You know, that has to hurt. I don't care. You can't, you know, certain hitters get hit and pretend it doesn't hurt. You get hit in the thigh like that, it hurts. and wasting no time, ignoring the pain, and not sulking over there at first base. He's like, I'm going to second. I'm getting into scoring position.
It's away. Polanco takes off for 3rd, and he's there. Wild pitch. Dickerson now with 2 strikes on him.
Split-fingered fastball. Yates likes to throw to left-handed batters. Had Corey out in front, but Gregory Polanco once again heads up, sees it kick away, figures far enough to get 90 feet from home.
And the infield comes in.
Gutsy. It's gutsy. Just one pitch after throwing one in the dirt that advances the runner. Yates not afraid to throw it again. And a nice block as that ball bounces way out in front of home plate. Lopez keeps it in that dirt area.
Wow, that's a big punch out by Kirby Yates. I don't have to tell you how tough that is to do against Corey Dickerson.
Especially, don't see him chasing many pitches out of the strike zone. Don't see him striking out a whole bunch. It's the 2-strike approach with that choke up of the bat.
Trying to do it with 2 outs now. Dickerson, the 2nd toughest man to strike out in the National League, behind only Nick Markakis of the Braves. But Yates got him, and he can get out of this after he hit Polanco. Polanco stole 2nd, went to 3rd on the wild pitch. Dickerson can't believe it.
Yeah, and part of the reason he chokes up is because it helps him be short to the ball, and so he's not worried so much about the fastball because he's short and quick. He gets to see the ball a bit longer, but just unable to pick up that split in time to take it.
Nothing close yet to Bell. Maybe Yates thinking he'd rather face Colin Moran. Was grounded out twice routinely. Bell line drive double off the wall and left in the first inning, brought in the first run. And nothing close. It almost skipped past Lopez. Like they wanted nothing to do with Bell. So Yates will face Colin Moran. Andy Green, his club playing a little bit better lately.
Look at Colin Moran and his approach. He hits a lot of fastballs the other way. He's got a fairly sizable hole on the left side of the infield. And then you think about that split that Yates likes to throw. If he leaves it up, and with Hosmer holding on Bell, a big hole on the right side.
And another pitch in the dirt. This Pirates team through 43 games, winning 26. Has won in a variety of ways, comeback fashion, 13 times. Seems like every night it's a different hero. Two and one. Once again, you can hear that wind gusting. Down a run, 2 outs, 7th inning. And a strike.
Hard to tell that 2-0 pitch if he was taking or just couldn't pull the trigger. Now 2-1 put that in a real good location. That fastball right on the inside corner, just above the knee. Now what does Colin Moran get?
Still 2-2. Three home runs in his rookie year, 21 runs batted in. The Redbeard, Colin Moran. Elias Diaz would be next. Got him, Tyler Yates. What a job. Keep the Pirates off the board. Still down a run. scheduled to be his last rehab outing. Joe Musgrove threw 96 pitches. They tried to get him up to 100. That was the plan. So Pirates, I'm sure, will pretty much disregard the hits and runs allowed. So it was a rough outing, but he got his work in, and we've seen that so many times before. Pitchers go down and get roughed up. A.J. Burnett comes to mind. Padres lead 3-2, go to the 8th. That was Kirby Yates who got out of that jam, self-imposed, in the bottom of the 7th. Get the strikeout of Corey Dickerson for the second out, and then struck out Colin Moran to strand 2 runners. Kirby's older brother Tyler did pitch for the Pirates a handful of years ago. Kyle Crick trying to give the Pirates a couple of scoreless innings, facing Matt Caesar, his first at bat tonight. Brewers lead the Twins 5-0 at Target Field in Minneapolis. They're in the 5th.
Crick, by the way, at 97.
Oh,
that velocity ticking up.
Fresh arm out there. A little while since we saw Crick. He pitched an inning against the White Sox on Tuesday.
Pitch at 96, not getting the call. Can't say enough how impressed I am with his command since he's been called up. Whether mechanics or otherwise, spring training didn't seem to be able to locate the ball where he wanted. Now that's 4 straight strikes, but behind in the count. 3-1.
4 strikes thrown, and it's 3-1. And this one is into center, and there's Meadows, and that is his first major league putout. Head to PNC Park next Friday. Pirates Cardinals, first of a 6-game homestand. And Corey Dickerson sporting the t-shirt you'll receive. First 20,000 fans get the military-inspired Pirates t-shirt thanks to Xfinity. It's also a $1 Dog Night presented by Sugardale. Tickets available at pirates.com/free shirt Friday, next Friday night.
Has there even been a base hit? Is that the first game ball?
Yeah, I think that's the first time a ball's been put in play towards center. The first ball that Meadows has handled at all. Jankowski, 2 strikes on him. Was 2 for 3 against Nova. And he's down looking. Two outs. Second strikeout for Crick. Corey Spangenberg. Well, that was interesting.
Yeah.
98 thrown behind Spangenberg, and Ted Barrett's going to walk the new baseball out. Maybe a little bit of a word with Crick. Not warning the benches, but maybe saying something to Crick. And who knows? Does that have anything to do with Polanco getting plunked?
Sort of looked like it.
Yeah. Maybe it looked like it to Ted Barrett. And he comes back 97 up.
Boy, is this impressive, though.
Yeah, it is.
Watching
this,
the ball
this velocity,
coming.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, it is impressive tonight. Kyle Crick.
And it's not just that, it's movement. Yeah. I don't see too many of those, though. I mean, he has a natural cut on a lot of his fastballs. That one had a good tail to it, running away from the left-handed batter.
Now it's 3-1. Much preferred not to face Hosmer. Pirates starting pitchers: Trevor Williams, Chad Cole, Jamison Tyone, leaning up against the padded railing. Wow, explosive too.
He's coming right at you.
And he ends up walking him. So he's going to face Hosmer with Spangenberg aboard. Back to the bullpen phone. Craig Stammen has been an outstanding setup man for the Padres. Got an out. The only batter he faced last night in the 5th inning with a couple of men on base. Play at first. Bell tagging Spangenberg, who takes off, and from his knees, nothing that Diaz can do. Steal for Spangenberg is his second.
Yeah, a huge jump. Diaz still gets off a very strong and accurate throw. Get in there easily with the steal.
And now they'll walk Hosmer intentionally and take their chances with Franchi Cordero. Even though Cordero singled to left, driving in Hosmer with the go-ahead run in the 6th inning. The rookie left fielder with 2 on and 2 outs. Just don't want to give up any more with that strong Padre bullpen.
Cordero thinking, man, all Crick's doing is throwing 95, 96, 97. I'm going to gear up for it. Got the breaking ball instead.
Pop up to Austin Meadows. And that'll do it. And Austin Meadows will be due up second in the bottom of the 8th, down 1. the Heinz History Center 26th Annual Makers Award dinner at the Weston Convention Center, the Black Tie Affair. He receives the Makers Award for Sports. Our own Steve Blass was on hand with Karen, as he called Karen when he went to the podium, St. Karen, his family on hand, sons Dusty, Chris, their wives. Great moment for the great Steve Blass. Congrats. Sally Wiggin got the Community Award, Howard Hanna family in business, Elaine Arrington in education, Jay Apt in innovation. Taking place tonight at the Weston Convention Center. And so John Wehner is here for Steve. And now Craig Stammen.
He was looking good, wasn't he?
He was looking sharp.
Man.
He always looks sharp.
Yes,
good flow, as he likes to say.
Good flow. Stammen, 2.11 ERA in 18 appearances. Just about a strikeout per inning.
One ball, one strike on Diaz. He's bounced out twice to short, fly to right. Then it's Austin Meadows and Jordy Mercer. And another bouncer to the shortstop. That's 3 tonight to Freddie Galvis. T-Mobile built for baseball. And here is Austin Meadows with his first major league hit, his second at bat. Keepsake, then he steals second in that 4th inning. And then singles his second time after the base hit in the 4th inning. So he's 2 for 3. Meadows was hitting .294 at Indianapolis. 37 hits, 126 at bats, had 10 doubles, 7 walks, and 21 strikeouts at the AAA level this season for Austin Meadows, the 23-year-old former first-round pick in 2013. Hey, John, is it a big eye-opener when you get to the big leagues after, no matter what Meadows is doing and at times dominating against that pitching, but when you get to the major leagues and you see some of the better pitchers, in this case the relievers, is it a little bit of a wow moment? There's a fly ball to center. He spanked that one towards center field. But again, that wind just knocks it down for the second out.
Boy, what 4 good at bats from Austin Meadows. But to answer your question, yeah, I think at times, I mean,
not every at bat.
You expect when you go up there, you expect everyone to be better.
Yeah.
And as far as stuff is concerned, not you don't always see anything different than you've already seen. It's pretty much the same. And then every now and again, you'll see a guy like say, "Wow,
Yeah.
who hits that? How do you hit that?" And I think you become more impressed with the location and these guys and how they could locate their secondary pitches, and they can exploit weaknesses, and they usually hit their target and put it where they want, and you just don't get as many mistakes. But the stuff you've seen for the most part, maybe not as consistently as you're going to see it here.
Mercer off of Stammen. He finds it. He throws way too late. Base hit for Mercer. And Mercer has to feel like he was owed a hit, even if it's off the pitcher, literally, after driving that ball to the warning track in left in the 6th.
And he turns his body a little bit, does Stammen, so he's not in a great fielding position. Couldn't get his glove up in time. And Jordy's like, thank you. Finally.
Had to feel like an eternity.
Yeah.
Mercer 0 for his previous 17 at bats. But he has hit some line drives. And here now is Jose Osuna to pinch hit for Kyle Crick. Osuna pinch hit in the 8th inning last night and bounced out, facing Kirby Yates. Craig Stammen Veteran righty. 2.11 ERA.
Another thing I think as a rookie, and you get to the big leagues for the first time, realize is how bright it is. And for a night game, it's so bright. You know, minor league ballparks are so much darker. And it just seems like the conditions are just perfect for hitting.
Let's hear about that extra deck.
Yeah, the extra deck. I mean, you never have a bad hitter's background. It seems like the batter's boxes are in perfect condition. Everything seems brighter.
Brighter, bigger. Jose Osuna spent most of this season playing at Indianapolis with Austin Meadows, but most of last year, the big leagues with the Pirates. Recalled May the 8th from Indy, where he was hitting .359. Just 21 at bats with the Pirates since being called back. Stammen.
One of those guys, you know, you see 91. Well, it's about belt high out of third. One of those guys that have that deceptive fastball, that ball that just sneaks up on you. You know, he throws for a guy that averages 91, mostly almost 70% of the time that fastball.
A little tapper coming in at third, Spangenberg, and it'll be a base hit for Osuna. It's first and second. 2 infield hits with 2 outs. And the batter will be Adam Frazier.
Don't see many infield hits from Jose Osuna, but he'll take it off the end of the bat. Maybe a better idea to go down with both hands and throw that thing on the run, as that ball is still hopping. But Spangenberg opted to go with the bare hand, unable to come up with it. A huge break here. Now a base hit to the outfield ties things up.
5th plate appearance of the night for Frazier, who walked his first 2 times. Since has grounded to first and hit a ball to the warning track in center. Hit the ball well his last time up against Yates. And takes ball 1. One ball, no strikes. And a strike called. 1-1. Gregory Polanco is on deck with 2 outs, and they put their closer up now. Get him ready, Brad Hand, just in case Polanco gets a chance. He would face Hand. Two and one.
First big league homer off the hand, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For Polanco. Extra innings.
Been on base 3 times tonight.
No, that's not true. Mike Dunn, not Hand.
It was a lefty.
Yeah, lefty.
2-1. 2 outs, 2 on. Down 1 in the 8th. Oh, he couldn't pull the trigger. It's 2-2. Bucks have left 8 men on the last handful of innings. Just missed inside, and now here we go. Doesn't get much bigger than this. The runners will be off, which will help Jordy Mercer, who does not run all that well, so a base hit should give him a chance. It's Stammen versus Frazier. Three-two pitch. Takes ball 4, and now they are loaded. Bases full of buccos, and that will be it for Stammen. We will see the matchup of the closer, Brad Hand, against Gregory Polanco. It's going to be a double switch. Andy Green goes to Ted Barrett. Polanco is 2 for 11 in his career against Brad Hand. Stammen got the first 2 outs of this inning. Meadows hit that ball to deep center field. Mercer hit a ball off of Stammen's leg, and the infield hit by Osuna, and the 3-2 walk to Frazier. As you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the Hold True moment later in tonight's game. Changes in the outfield for San Diego. Matt Caesar moves from right field to left. And the new center fielder is Manuel Margot. And the new right fielder moving from center, Travis Jankowski. Cordero out of the game. That means Hand bats in that 4th spot. Brings in the closer, looking for a 4-out save.
12 for 14 in saves, a 2.45 ERA. Look at all the strikeouts, 35 in just 22 innings. A lot of sliders to left-handed batters.
Gets a call.
Gets a call. And a guy that throws 93 with some funk, kind of an odd release point. It's easy to sit there and say, well, 2 out of 3 pitches he's throwing are sliders. So sit on slider. It's kind of easier said than done.
Mercer, Osuna, Frazier with 2 outs. That's another call. Now 0-2. Brad Hand has twice successfully given the Padres saves this year of more than 3 outs. 2 out of 3. 6 for 10 in his career, more than 1 inning. Two and two. So he's really not, you could argue, has not thrown a strike yet. We got the 2 borderline pitches from Ted Barrett. It's 2 and 2 now on Polanco, and Hand has walked 11 batters in 22 innings.
And yeah, that fastball, hard to tell if he was actually trying to throw it for a strike as you look around the bases. Mercer, Osuna, Frazier. But would almost expect another slider here.
And now Padres expecting the call. He got 2 of them, but not this time. And here we are, 3 and 2 to Gregory Polanco, an unhappy Padres fan.
And boy, Polanco's right on the dish.
How about this crowd, John? Look at this. Look at this crowd. Unbelievable. Listen to them. And he bounces it to the shortstop, Galvis, on the first, and gets him. Hand gets out of it, and they leave them loaded as we head to the 9th. Out. Of course, with 2 strikes, Polanco had to protect, and especially with Hand getting those first 2 pitches called for strikes. Game 3 of the 4-game series tomorrow night. Bucks expect to recall Nick Kingham to make his 3rd major league start. He'll oppose lefty Clayton Richard. Coverage starts here on AT&T Sportsnet at 6:30 with Pirates pregame presented by W.B. Mason.
You know, and that was a good at bat for Gregory Polanco as Richard Rodriguez comes on for the 13th time. A very nice 1.72 ERA in 15 2/3 innings and 27 strikeouts, just 2 walks. He put a good at bat to him, and a 3-2 breaking ball hit okay. And oddly enough, the Padres, who were playing him earlier in the game with 3 infielders on the right side, had their shortstop playing almost straight up, and Polanco ends up hitting it directly at him.
Oh, and 2. Rafi Lopez, Franmil Reyes, Freddie Galvis here in the top of the 9th, and then the bottom of the 9th, it's Corey Dickerson, Josh Bell, Colin Moran due up. And there, the numbers for Rodriguez are, you know, video game like right now. It's ridiculous. He's struck out, John mentioned it, 28 batters in 16 innings with 0 walks. I mean, the 2 walks were intentional, so that doesn't even count anymore. You don't even throw ball, you just point.
Yeah.
So you can't, the intentional walks are not existent anymore. So that's unbelievable. 28 strikeouts, no walks in 16 innings for the rookie Rodriguez.
And the location's been good. Pitches up when he wants to. That ball just has carry. Margot thinking about bunting there. He sees that out of the hand and he thinks it's going to be down and out of the strike zone. But that ball just has that carry. I don't know if they want to call that spin rate or what. But certain guys have that ball that just stay on the same plane longer. You don't have as much downhill as the typical pitcher. And looking to bunt in an 0-2 count.
Wow.
Well, I honestly don't know why we don't see more of this, really, when guys are really struggling at the plate and you're hitting below 200. With 2 strikes, guys don't hit any. Most of the, I think the average 2-strike hitters are under 200 anyhow. So why not? You have just as good a chance if you could butt the ball directionally a little bit better.
Yeah, but you're right. You don't never see that.
Yeah. And a guy that's a good bunter and you're struggling at the plate
should be able to do it, right?
Yeah. But you hardly ever see it. Like we see, I know Billy Hamilton has pretty good numbers against the Pirates, but a guy with that kind of speed can bunt. And when he is really struggling, he's almost an automatic out. And I see him with 2 strikes wondering, why wouldn't you with that kind of speed?
Galvis 1 for 3. Ivan Nova on the hook. Gave up 3, 2 earned, 6 innings. Kyle Crick 2 scoreless. Now Richard Rodriguez. Trying to keep this a 1-run deficit and give the Pirates a chance against Brad Hand. Bucks still have Sean Rodriguez, Francisco Cervelli, and Max Moore off the bench should they decide to go to someone other than Colin Moran. Again, due up 3rd in the bottom of the inning. What a moment that was, by the way, in the bottom of the 8th. This crowd of about 19,000 erupted, trying to coax maybe a walk out of Hand or a hit from Polanco. Hit the ball sharply. But that's Freddie Galvis, who's at the plate now with a 2-2 count.
Galvis trying to get on top. And it's almost like a guy like Rodriguez that just throws so many fastballs up in the zone by guys. You almost want to think just use your top hand and try to get on top. I mean, it's not easy to do.
Another strikeout for Richard Rodriguez. You know, Rodriguez has picked up his first big league win recently. See if Pirates can give him another. along with some lightsabers and some pirate flags with rally caps. Pirates down a run going to the bottom of the 9th inning. Brad Hand able to get Gregory Polanco to bounce out, and now lefty hitters this year are 0 for 26 against Brad Hand.
Wow.
4 have reached via the walk. Corey Dickerson is 1 for 4 tonight.
And that is a big breaker, and it's listed as a slider. You could call it a curveball because he's, 81, 82, 83 miles an hour. Got a ton of break to it. That one that started at the hip of Corey Dickerson, froze him, and then up over the middle of the plate. He actually tried to throw that one inside. Got the chase off the plate. See his catcher setting up in.
Right out of the mitt.
And again, easier said than done, but he's thrown 8 pitches, 7 sliders. So it's not like you could go up there, sit slider, and
yeah.
Still, no guarantee of success.
Line toward left field, and it is off the glove. Dickerson headed to second. Here's the throw. He is safe. Dr. Dickerson in scoring position. He's done it again. It's the first hit this year by a left-handed batter off Brad Hand.
And hard for me to believe he wasn't sitting slider. You almost have to be sitting slider there. And he left this one up. I'm sure he wanted it further off the plate. And maybe for once the wind has helped the Pirates as it maybe knocks this ball down a little bit.
They are going to challenge as you take a look at Caesar.
And Caesar kind of alligator armed that. You wonder if he's reaching out. That's a heck of a throw, by the way, from his belly.
No reason not to challenge if you're the Padres. Now we take a look. We see if there's any evidence. No way can they overturn this one, at least by that angle.
And this one, if you might
still
see
hasn't hit him yet.
Both arms, maybe you see both arms, but it's
his right hand is on the corner of the bag the whole time.
Exactly, you can't tell. So
look at Dickerson. Man, is this guy a player?
He is a player, I tell you. He is some kind of fun to watch.
I mean, again, not settling. He just everything this guy does. Another look. Again, he's got that right hand on the corner of the bag the whole time.
I don't think that right hand comes off. If it does, you don't have any video evidence to prove that it came off. I mean, that's the only argument they're going to have. Is that right wrist? Is that right wrist off? You can't tell.
It's always on the whole time. A lead-off double for the Doc. PhD in baseball fundamentals. And now in New York, they confirm the call. It's a double. Going back to last year, lefty hitters were 0 for 31 against Brad Hand before that hand got into second with a double. And now it's Josh Bell with Sean Rodriguez on deck to pinch hit for Colin Moran. The Battling Buccos of 2018. And this crowd on hand is something special.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 19,000 sounding like 39,000.
And they're into it.
Bell doubled off the wall and left in the first. Walked his last time.
Oh, ripped foul. And just like that breaking ball to lefties, he likes to throw it to righties. He'll throw a few more fastballs to right-handed hitters, but you can tell it's a big breaker. He has confidence in it. Not afraid to throw it any count, right or left.
Yeah, no day at the beach for either. Right-handed hitters hitting .250 against Brad Hand. He's up on Bell, 2 strikes. I'd love to see Bell somehow find a way to get Dickerson to third. Time is called as Hand was concerned about Dickerson, who could get a substantial lead with Galvis playing a deep short and Aswahe playing well off the bag.
Yeah, there's a lot of room for Dickerson as far as getting his lead. You still don't want to get too far off of there. And there, a fastball at 95. Pirates yet again an opportunity at every inning except the second. The Pirates have had runners in scoring position.
They have left a total of 12 men on base through 8 innings.
Yeah, they've since they had hits with runners in scoring position in the first and third, but 0 for 8 since.
Oh, he strikes out Bell for the first out of the bottom of the 9th. 1 down.
And that is a nasty, nasty breaking ball.
Sean Rodriguez to bat for Colin Moran here in the 9th. Now Rodriguez, his overall average is 189, but he has been outstanding against lefty pitchers and a little bit of a history against Brad Hand. He's 3 for 4 in the past against this veteran left-hander. So he bats for Moran.
And he's been swinging it much better of late, Sean Rodriguez. Looking very comfortable at the plate, making solid contact.
9 for 21 against lefty pitchers this year, 429 average. And again, Hand gets a borderline call. Tyson Ross still in line to win this. He went 6. Oh, trying to win it with that swing.
Yeah, and again, the breaking ball, and it's not like he has pinpoint control with it. It just has that much break. It's hard to hit.
Stays 0-2 on Sean Rodriguez. Last year, you'll recall his first game back after being reacquired was against the Padres here. A walk-off home run the day he arrived in the clubhouse. And one of the more dramatic moments of 2017. Serpico had returned and won the game. And he strikes him out. A leadoff double by the lefty hitting Dickerson. Bell and Rodriguez down on strikes. And now it's up to Elias Diaz with Austin Meadows on deck.
And you sit there and you think, I mean, you don't put the go-ahead run on intentionally, but, you know, one hit against hand versus a left-handed batter all year.
Pirates have Max Moroff, a switch hitter, and Francisco Cervelli. And there's Cervelli looking like
maybe
getting ready, perhaps. He's got the batting gloves on. Elias Diaz.
Find a way on.
First pitch strike. Felipe is up just in case.
And again, Diaz goes up there. It's a breaking ball. It's up. It's inner third. But again, the break, it breaks so much, it's hard to pull the trigger on. Hard to do much with it.
Checks and takes.
And again, the fastball is almost just a show me pitch. I'm just going to show it to you to maybe speed you up a little bit, but it's not a pitch he uses to get outs. He just uses it to show it. And I guess why not when your breaking ball's that nasty.
Diaz has never faced Brad Hand. A veteran, Brad Hand, one-time starting pitcher with the Marlins. It's his third year with the Padres. And this should do it. Oh, wide throw, but he is out as Hosmer found the bag. A Suarez throw almost pulled Hosmer off the bag, and the Padres get the win. Brad Hand earns the 4-out save.
Yeah, the bullpen does the job, but it was a shaky job. The Pirates have been so good at hitting with runners in scoring position, but I really think that's the difference in tonight's game. They've had plenty of opportunities all night long to get that big hit, to push that extra run across or push the tying run across. And you know, you give some credit to the Padres pitchers. And some credit to the conditions here.
Yeah.
There were some well-struck balls that just went nowhere into that wind.
Austin Meadows makes his major league debut and a success. A couple of hits and had some great at-bats. So Austin Meadows has his first big league game under his belt. And the Padres even the series with a 3-2 victory over the Pirates tonight. We'll go back to the studios. Rob and Michael.